Dame Dash cannot leave Jay-Z alone.
Reasonable Doubt doesn't sell shit. Why you think I gave it away? Nobody made no money off that shit. Barely went gold. Nobody gives a fuck about Reasonable Doubt other than people that were there.
Okay, right off the bat, that just feels like a crazy thing to say. Like, I know he thinks that people don't listen to it, I guess, but it's like, dude, what are you talking about? Reasonable Doubt is one of the greatest albums ever, in my opinion, but also the opinion. I just feel like you're a part of something amazing. Why not just leave it as being a part of something amazing? Like, it's better to be someone who gets props for being part of Reasonable Doubt than a guy who's like, oh yeah, it doesn't mean shit. Like, what?
Nobody gives a fuck about Reasonable Doubt. Ask some kid about Reasonable Doubt. They'll be like, nobody cares about Jay-Z as a rapper.
Maybe kids today who are listening to just, exclusively rage, emo, rap mixed with metal and wrist cutting, whatever they do. But I think most people around the world pretty seriously regard Reasonable Doubt as one of the greatest hip hop albums ever made. Like, I don't think that's under dispute. If you think it is, leave a comment, but I don't think so.
No kid gives a fuck about Jay-Z at all.
Okay, I think there's an important point that has to be made here. It's one thing to be like, no kid gives a fuck about Jay-Z, maybe from like a relevance point of view. Maybe no kid, is as focused on him as they are on like Playboy Carti or someone like that. But to say that no kid recognizes that Jay-Z is one of the greatest rappers, if not the greatest rapper of all time, that to me feels like, hey man, what are you talking about? Anytime I've ever seen an interview with a rapper, admittedly, like, okay, they might be older and whatever, but anytime I've seen an interview with a rapper, they always say in their top 5, Jay-Z is almost always in there. You got to give someone their props if they're seen as the greatest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a thing where it's like, if someone is even in the conversation for greatest of all time, by definition, I don't think you can really be like, nah, I don't really think this guy. It's like, no, dude, because he's in that conversation. You can be like, maybe he's not the GOAT or maybe this, but he's in that conversation. So to do this is just like, oh, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
They not jacking his hairstyle, his gear.
Yeah, but also it's like, why would anyone be jacking his hairstyle? Of course he's not going to be a trendsetter for like 17-year-olds. He's aged out of that period. Doesn't mean he's not still a dope guy, but I mean, like, like that seems like a silly argument. Like, how old even is Jay-Z? Dude, he's 56. This is what I mean. Like, and I get that this is also kind of Dame's point, which is like the fact that he's older and he's not like relevant as a rapper means that kids don't give a fuck. Like, I get that. But also like saying like, oh, kids don't give a fuck about what he wears. Dude, he's 56. Of course they don't. And that's fine. But it doesn't take away from the validity of what Reasonable Doubt was. You know what I mean? I think sometimes Dame is someone who just likes smoke. I think he's someone who likes to fucking just go on somewhere and be like, yeah, this way, I fuck about this guy, motherfucker. But it's like, he doesn't need to do that. He's a boss. Like, he's done some big shit. And I don't think we would have Jay-Z without Dame. I think that's like totally fair to say.
No one's fucking with Jay-Z. No one's listening to them fucking raps. None of that shit.
Okay. That alone is an insane thing to say. That's an insane thing to say. Like, let's go to Spotify and see if we can find Jay-Z's like listenership. Can we see that? Like, okay, dude, look at this. He has 43 million monthly listeners. 43 million. And I'm sure everyone watching is like, yeah, obviously. And it's like, yeah, someone's listening to them fucking raps. Someone is. About 43 million people are, actually. I feel like anytime you try and do something in a beef, or in some sort of dispute with someone, I feel like the minute you try and discredit someone for something that's clearly just invalid, you just lose all ground on it. Like, you can't be like, oh, no one listens to Jay-Z. Really? He's got 43 million listeners on Spotify. That doesn't even include Apple Music and fucking Tidal and whatever else people use, Amazon Music, I guess. Do people even use that? I don't know. Don't come at him for fucking not having listeners. You can be like, oh, he's maybe not as relevant as he was, but like, mad. Sad and mad. Mad and sad.
No one, I'm going to tell you what killed Jay-Z, them fucking dress shirts. That put him out of business. He wasn't fly after that. No one, he couldn't recover for them dress shirts. Show me a picture of me and a Yankee in a dress shirt with cufflinks, please. Let me know. Or some Van Dutch and all that. Like, show me any picture of me in any of that clown shit.
So here Dame's making the argument that, oh, because he dressed a certain way, like he's not relevant anymore, and that's why. And he's like, but again, he's like, well, show me pictures of me doing that. If it's like, yeah, but you're not a bigger person than Jay-Z though, so that argument doesn't make sense either. Like if you interviewed 10 people on the street and said, you know who Jay-Z is versus do you know who Dame Dash is, I think most people who don't know about hip hop don't know who Dame Dash is. And so to go after Jay-Z for being like, oh, well, this is the thing. He dresses like this, and that's why no one really gives a fuck. He's like, when have you seen me do that? I don't do that.
Look, I'm a fly. I made this shit too. It's brand new. Look at this. You see the CEO swim trunks and shit?
Okay, I'm going to say this now. I'm just going to say it once, and that's the only time I'm going to say it. You can't be giving someone shit for how they dress when you're in an interview in swimming trunks, okay?
Like my homeboys used to, like, this nigga got these fucking motorcycle boots on. My homeboys used to give me hell for this nigga, man. They thought he was the funniest, you know, he didn't have the kind of, you know, he's not that, no dishes. I don't want to start this, but let's go. You know what I mean?
Again, this doesn't make any sense. He's like, yeah, dude, you know, he was wearing like motorcycle boots and shit. He's like, you know, when I first brought him around, like my boys, they were like, oh, who the fuck's this guy? Yeah. And the outcome of that whole thing, after the years have passed, Jay-Z is now a billionaire and his boys are who? We don't even, you know? It's such an insane argument, dude. It doesn't make any sense. You're literally going after someone who's established in terms of respect of what they do, because like everyone respects Jay-Z. Like, yes, he's a great rapper. Financially successful, so he has like financial status or whatever, you know? Married to Beyonce. Okay. And then you're like, yeah, but my boy back in the day thought he dressed nerdy. What? What? What are you talking about?
I'm not in it for the money, bro. I'm gonna be broke my whole life. I'm gonna always spend it. I'm not gonna say I ain't gonna make it, but I ain't holding a dollar.
I don't get that at all. I just don't get how. I think because Dame is someone who loves this whole thing about like I'm a boss and everything, like I'm a boss and I live like a boss and all this kind of shit. I don't get the whole thing of like then saying in another minute like, oh, I don't care if anyone buys my shit, or I don't care if I'll be broke. And it's like, but that's like antithetical to being a boss. Like, you know, like if you are going to do the whole I'm a boss thing, the idea is that like, oh, well, I have wealth and I have this and I have generational wealth and I have secure money. Like, it just feels weird to be like, yeah, I'm such a boss, but also I'm broke. I don't care. I'm not going to save any. I don't know. I don't get that at all.
Holding money is for suckers to me. I don't care. Y'all could do it. I had bricks. I hold some bricks and some real estate, but looking at green, nasty, stink money, I don't need that shit. I burn that shit. I burn money. Fuck all that. But I'm going to be fresh.
I don't know. I feel like this is also what happens when you're stuck in that mentality of like to be someone who's like, oh, I don't give a fuck. I'll burn that shit. Like, it's like, oh, come on, dude. You're what, 55? 55 maybe? How old's Dame? How old is he? Oh, dude, I was right. 55. So to be 55 and be like, oh, holding on to money, I'll fucking burn that shit. It's like, oh, come on, dude. I think this is the other thing that's like a consequence of the internet as well, which is like stuff becomes cringe really quickly, you know? Like the cycles are way shorter. Like it used to be like something would happen and then it became cringe after, I don't know, a year or 5 years or maybe even 10 years or whatever. But now, because the internet, like there's such a fast cycle of like what becomes cool and then what becomes cringe. And it's like, I think now the idea of someone being in 2026, like, oh, I don't fucking keep money. I'll burn that shit. I think everyone's kind of on a place of like, why would you do that? Why would you not just be responsible with money? Like, I know rappers probably wouldn't, because that's like the whole thing of like, I fucking blow that shit, dog. But like, you know?
I'm the flyest broke nigga you ever saw.
So there you go. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think Jay-Z's not relevant? I think he's relevant. I think I still listen to his music. Most people I know still listen to his music. I feel like Dame's just being Dame. But what do you think? Let me know.
I'm the flyest broke nigga you ever saw.